Aloha kakayaka kako, and welcome to the WASSP Committee meeting of Monday, October 20th, 2025. It is 10:02. And again, mahalo members for your patience in this later start time. I'm Shane Sinensi, your committee chair. And just as a reminder for members of the public to please silence any cell phones or noise-making devices. Members, in accordance with the Sunshine Law, if you are not in the council chamber, please identify by name who, if anyone, is in the room, vehicle, workspace with you today. And minors do not need to be identified. Also, please see the last page of the agenda for information on meeting connectivity. Joining us today, Committee Vice Chair Gabe Johnson is excused. However, in the chamber is Councilmember Tom Cook. Aloha and good morning.
Good morning, aloha, good morning. Glad to be here. Our staff is at the Kihei office, but currently no justifiers. Thank you, Chair.
Also joining us in the chambers is Council Chair Alice Lee. Aloha.
Aloha, good morning, and welcome back from Washington, the state of Washington, and Talelup. I believe that's where you were.
We were.
And the greeting there, you'd say, Ichak, Ichak.
Ichak.
Yeah.
Mahalo for that.
Okay.
I don't see Councilmember Kama, but she may be joining us in a little bit. Also joining us in the chambers is Councilmember Tamara Paulton. Aloha and Ichak.
Aloha kakahiaka and teacher, kia ora tātou.
Kia ora also. And welcome back from your spring break trip. Also joining us in the chambers is member Yukile Sugimura.
Good morning, everybody. Looking forward to a productive meeting. Thank
Mahalo
you,
for being
Chair.
here. And also joining us online, I do see member Nohelani Hudgens. Aloha and good morning.
Aloha, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm at my private residence. I do have two adult males here with me. We have Koa Hudgens and Mokoa Hudgens are around. But looking forward to your meeting. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, mahalo for joining us. And I do believe member Rollins Fernandez is en route, so I'm sure she'll jump on her phone should she have any access. For the Department of Parks and Recreation, we have Director Pat McCall and Mr. Sam Marvel. Aloha and good morning.
Good morning, Chair. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here. From the Department of Police, for our second item, we'll anticipate Assistant Chief of Police Greg Okamoto. From the Department of the Prosecuting Attorney, also for our second item, we have Ms. Shelley DeMatos and Mr. Chad Kumagai. And from Corporation Counsel, here in the chambers, we have Ms. Yukari Murakami. Aloha and good morning.
Good morning, Chair.
Members, our committee staff that's helping to conduct this morning's meeting, we have Ms. Griselda Paranata, Ms. Clarissa McDonald, Ms. Tiare Del Castillo, Ms. Megan Moniz, Ms. Leigh Deneen, and Ms. Jean Pokipala. Mahalo, everyone. Okay, members, on today's agenda, we have two items. Resolution 25-178, authorizing the execution of the park assessment agreement for the Waiale Park Large Lot Subdivision under Section 18.16.320 Maui County Code, WASSP 10. And we have Bill 119, 2025, penalties for prohibited noise violations, WASSP 9. Without any objections, members, I'll also designate the following people as resource persons on the Rule 18A of the Rules of the Council because they hold special expertise related to our first item. Members, Resolution 25-178, authorizing the execution of the park assessment agreement for the Waiale Park Large Lot Subdivision under Section 18.16.320 Maui County Code. The resolution's purpose is to authorize the execution of Exhibit 1, the Park Assessment Agreement for the Waiale Large Lot Subdivision. This requires Waiale 905 Partners LLC to provide land in perpetuity or dedicate land for park and playground purposes as a condition of subdivision approval. Through the agreement, Waiale 905 Partners LLC will dedicate approximately 21 acres for a neighborhood park and provide pocket parks throughout the subdivision. We have representatives from Waiale 905 Partners LLC and also from the Department of Parks and Recreation to provide more information on this agreement. So with that, could we have Mr. Coach Atherton or Mr. Uyoka? Would you want to provide some opening comments?
Oh, thank you, Councilmember Sinensi, members of the committee. Jeff Uyoka with the Waikapu Country Town Project. So just wanted to give a little bit of clarification there. So the name of the subdivision to create the park is the Waiale Large Lot park subdivision, but this park will satisfy the park assessment requirement for all of Waikapu Country Town. So just wanted to clarify that. Yeah, so 21 acres, we're at full build out, Waikapu Country Town is supposed to be around 1,433 homes. If we follow the terms of the PPP, it should be around 500 residential workforce housing units, 212 multifamily that's in Aikanaha, which is underway right now, or hasn't started, but it's in permitting. 75 at a further stage of Aikanaha or somewhere else multifamily, and then 213 single-family residential workforce housing units. So that's, in a nutshell, what this park should satisfy the needs for, or the park assessment requirement for.
Mahalo, Mr. Uyoka. We have a question for you from Member Polton.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Uyoka. Can you repeat the first number that you said? Was it 1433?
Yes, 1433.
Okay. And then the part that the chair was speaking about, additional pocket parks, is that total acreage combined to 21 acres, or is the 21 acres that contiguous piece?
The 21 acres is the contiguous piece. There'll be other little green open spaces throughout Waikapu Country Town.
And those other green open spaces won't be dedicated or maintained by the county? Dedicated to or maintained by the county?
Oh, we could certainly talk about that too if you want them.
Oh, no, I just was clarifying.
No, yeah, no, they're going to be probably privately owned and maintained, and as open space, the HOA will probably be the owner of them and responsible for the maintenance.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, mahalo, Member Polton. And question from Member Cook.
So, thank you. The 21 acres, how many parks is that? Just one park, yeah?
One big one.
Yeah, okay, no, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, mahalo, Member Cook. Any other questions? I don't see any. Mahalo for, and you stay on for further questions. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, one little clarification, Chair, just to get it on the record. I'm sure it wouldn't matter to you guys, but in the park assessment agreement, in, I guess it's the second recital, the acreage got transposed. So instead of being 21.014, 041, it says 014. So we probably want to correct that before we actually execute. I consider, well, it's not my call, but it's kind of non-substantive, but just wanted to point it out on the record. So thank you, Chair.
Okay, staff. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Uyoka. Next, we'll go to Director McCall for some opening comments.
Thank you, Chair. The Parks Department has met with Mr. Uyoka and the other representatives of the development on multiple occasions, and we truly appreciate their cooperation in taking into account our concerns and have addressed them in the layout as we've gone, and we've vetted the project. It's been going on for a while now, back when former member of our staff, Dave Yamashita, was a planner. And we're excited about the project, and we feel good about it at this point.
Okay, mahalo. Any, members, any questions for the director? Did Mr. Marvel have anything to add?
Thanks, Chair. I'll just reiterate what Director McCall said. We've met multiple times with the developer and have been very pleased with their cooperation in the process. Feel very comfortable with the agreement, and I think it's going to be a benefit to the county and a good thing for us. So we're happy and satisfied with it.
Okay, mahalo, Mr. Marvel. Members, okay, at this time, before we begin our discussion, let's take testimony for WASSP 10. Staff, anyone want to?
There is currently no one signed up to testify. If somebody would like to testify in the chamber, please let the staff know, or on Microsoft Teams, please raise your hand. This is going to be last call. 3, 2, 1. Chair, it appears that no one wishes to testify.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony for this item? Okay, thank you. Okay, members will again open the floor for any other questions. Should you have any, we have, just raise your hand. Member Paulton, then Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. I guess my first question is there infrastructure in the area like electricity, water, sewage? Are we putting up bathrooms? Do we have the staff to maintain it, like, so it doesn't become a fire hazard or anything like that?
Thank you for the question, Councilmember. Yes, there will be, and the restrooms, quite a kind of a beautiful layout, and we foresee it as a multi-purpose use park with walking trails, a multi-purpose field, restroom, an adequate parking lot. And as I said in our meetings, they addressed our concerns about the locations of some of those facilities, some of the sight lines, which would change the grading of the area, which was very beneficial, I think, in our favor.
And we're putting up the amenities, the county is.
Yeah, thanks for the question. The developer will put in some of the amenities as required by code, so irrigation, comfort station, items as outlined in the reso. So they'll do a lot of that legwork, the grading, those types of things, and we'll take it from there.
When is it expected to be able to be utilized by the public?
I'll have to defer to the developer on that
Okay.
timeline.
And it'll be for the public in general.
Sir Uyoka.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Councilmember Paulton. We're hoping to have the backbone infrastructure in about 2 years after we get the construction plan approval. We submitted construction plans at March, April, and we're just waiting to get comments back, and we can, so that process has been ongoing for a few months. And yeah, we're hoping we can probably get the park in with, or close to, as Aikanaha is being developed. So Aikanaha is on its own track, but it is reliant on the backbone infrastructure. And they're expecting full build out in like 2 to 3 years after they get their building permits and their approvals. So hopefully like 2030, 2031-ish for the park.
When you say construction plan approval, you mean construction plan approval of the park or of the subdivision or the Aikanaha development? Which construction plan approval?
So the construction plan is for I deal in this all the time, so it's in my head it makes sense. That's for the backbone infrastructure. So like the water lines, the sewer lines, the drainage, all that, the roads. So it's going to be like a trunk from Mauka down to the Waiale Road extension-ish in that area, basically to the school. And then from there, Aikanaha can stub off, and then the school eventually can stub off, and the park is behind Aikanaha. So, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say behind. It's more towards Waikapu Stream from Aikanaha.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll yield. I'm feeling kind of like I'm being a hog.
Mahalo, Member Paulton. Next, we have a question from Member Cook.
Thank you. So I'm frustrated with the timeline. I'm sure the developer is very frustrated with the timeline. It's, this is a great project. It's got a tremendous amount of support. When you say the plans that are in now, are they for any subdivisions and buildings and stuff, or is that just for the infrastructure and the grading?
Just the infrastructure and the grading. We currently have 5 subdivision applications in, which will probably have their own construction plans attached to them eventually, but we have
So-
5 in right now.
Well, it's a great project, and it's hopefully the people who are reviewing the plans will take note. We're getting a park, we're getting a school, we're getting affordable housing. All of this stuff is forthcoming. Nothing gets cheaper. So anyway, if you have any ideas of how the county can facilitate it, let the council know.
Oh, thank you. We will. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Okay, Model Member Cook. Members, any other questions for either the department or the developer? Okay. Okay, members, okay to take a 10-minute recess at this time? Okay, thank you. The WASSP committee meeting is in recess till 10:30. welcome back to the WASSP Committee meeting of Monday, October 20th, 2025. It is 10:31. Thank you, members, for that short break. I'm going to entertain any last questions for Resolution 25-178. I see Member Paulton. Did you have any further questions before we
Thank
recommend
you.
adoption?
Yes, please. I just wanted to know, like, when we would be physically taking responsibility of the site. Like, is it when this resolution goes through or after the infrastructure gets installed? And, just for liability's sake, what if a fire starts on that parcel? I just wanted to know that kind of information.
Mr. Uyoka?
Thank you, Chair. Councilmember Paulton. Yes, no fires. We don't want fires. But so the way the park assessment agreement works is we have the plans. We worked with parks, got something that we all kind of like. Then the council has to approve the park assessment agreement. We will do the improvements to the park or the land per the park assessment agreement. And once it's complete, then we will dedicate it over to the county. But what the park assessment agreement does is it's not like a discretionary approval by the council at that point. Now it's a discretionary approval by the parks director, whoever that may be. And they will be able to accept the, sorry, I didn't mean anything there, but it might be a few years, that's why. No, but if we substantially comply with what's in this park assessment agreement, then the parks director can accept the park from the developer.
When they dedicate
When everything's all complete, finished to their satisfaction, reasonable satisfaction.
They don't need to come back because we did this up front.
Yes, yeah, after Kehalani, this process was adopted.
Okay, and so then it might just be a county communication, like, hey, we accepted the dedication or something like that.
Yeah, I believe that's the process in 3.44 Maui County Code.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mahalo. Okay, no further questions. Okay, at this time, members, the chair will entertain a motion to recommend adoption of Resolution 25-178, including any non-substantive revisions. It's been moved by Member Cook, seconded by Member Paulton. Any further discussion? Okay, I will now entertain a motion to substitute Resolution 25-178 with the proposed CD1 version attached to my posted ASF dated October 6, 2025.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Member Cook, seconded by Member Paulton. And members, the proposed CD1 version incorporates revisions for clarity and style to comply with the drafting guide of Maui County legislation. With that, I will also entertain a motion to amend Exhibit 1 in the second whereas clause on page 2 and subsection D on page 4 by replacing 21.014 acres with 21.041 acres.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Member Cook. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll take the vote on the substitution.
The amendment to the substitution?
The amendment to the substitution, yes. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Staff?
Aye.
Chair, is that 6 ayes, 3 excused, Councilmember Rollins Fernandez, Councilmember Kama, and Councilmember Johnson. Motion passes.
Okay, back to the main motion as amended.
Substitution
Oh, one more for the substitution?
as amended.
Okay, motion to the substitution as amended. Raise your hand and say aye. Staff?
Chair, that's 6 ayes, 3 excused, Councilmember Rollins Fernandez, Councilmember Kama, Councilmember Johnson. Motion passes.
Okay, now back to the main motion as amended. All in favor say aye. Raise your hand. Staff?
Councilmember, that is 6 ayes, 3 excused, Councilmember Rollins Fernandez, Councilmember Kama, and Councilmember Johnson. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you, members. This item will move on to the full council for consideration. Mahalo, Director McCall, Mr. Marvel, Coach, nice seeing you. Mr. Uyoka, mahalo. Okay, members, our second item is Bill 119, 2025, penalties for prohibited noise violations. And maybe we can switch out while I quickly read. Members, Bill 119's purpose is to amend Section 9.36.040 of the Maui County Code to increase fines and establish penalties, including possible forfeiture of sound application systems for prohibited vehicle noise violations. This bill was introduced by Chair Lee and was modeled after the City and County of Honolulu's prohibited noise enforcement ordinance, specifically their violation and penalty section 41-6.3 of the revised ordinances of Honolulu. In correspondence dated and received on September 30th, 2025, the County of Maui's Department of Police reported that no citations were issued under Section 9.36.040 in 2024. And the response is number 3 in Granicus. Maui Police Department also submitted questions regarding the proposed conviction for a third offense in Bill 119, including 1, who determines the value of the sound applications amplification system, 2, who is responsible for carrying out the forfeiture, and 3, once forfeited, will the sound amplification system be destroyed or sent to auction? And we can discuss these questions during today's meetings, member. Since Chair Lee is the introducer, I'll start by giving her the floor for some opening comments, Chair.
Thank you. Now, this item, I'm sure every community is very concerned about and very annoyed that people are disturbing the neighborhoods with this extremely loud sounds. And just one clarification, this ordinance may have looked into Oahu's ordinance, but this ordinance was actually introduced in 1990 by myself. So this took effect, 9.36040 was passed in 1990. And the reason why I did this, I introduced this on behalf of some citizens. What happened was, and for those of you who know the Davis family, Chelsea Davis, her mother was originally Paulette Souza, and then Silva, married to, was it Milton? Milton Silva? Anyway, he went to Baldwin. And so they were married, and Milton called me because there was an accident. And their son, their teenage son, was in the back of a pickup truck. And I think they were going into the school, Baldwin High School. And the boom box was so loud that when he fell off the truck, nobody could hear him screaming. And unfortunately, he passed away. So the dad, Milton, or maybe it was Mervyn Silva, he asked me if I could try and pass a law that could help prevent something like this. So it was originally targeting boom boxes because in those days, the kids would go through the neighborhoods, but mainly the shopping centers and schools, and blast these boom boxes so loud you can barely hear anything. So this is how it all happened with the boom boxes. And now we have, fast forward to today, it's not so much boom boxes, but they have these other ridiculous sounds that they have, which I think they might think is entertaining, but it's not. and it's incredibly loud, and it's not confined to like a small area. It's like the whole subdivision can hear this noise, this music, or whatever you call it. And so this is the reason why I am introducing this amendment to increase the penalties so that people will think twice about, blasting their radios and disturbing the whole neighborhood. I realize that the police, find these things as probably annoying and nuisances. However, something has to be done. We can't just let people get away with this and think it's okay. I know the police are shorthanded, but it's not that we expect them to be stationed at every corner all the time. But they should, I think, could be more discerning and pick where the areas that they receive the most complaints, and then have some kind of presence there, on occasion. And then, so the other thing is, recently my son was attended a training on Oahu, where Ed Sniffen mentioned that they have this problem too, and then they have highly sophisticated cameras now and other devices. So he offered to share this information and possibly the software that they have and that they purchased for Maui to use for traffic control and for enforcement of these things. Another thought I wanted to share with you is Ed mentioned that oftentimes it's not so much the money that people would necessarily prevent them from behaving this way, because in some cases they'll just say, just tell me how much and I'll pay. What they don't like is if they have to give up their time. For instance, another penalty, but I don't know if we're set up for this, but another penalty is required community service. Now that would kill them. I mean, they do not want to do that. They'd rather fork over $500 or $1,000, just so long as they can keep going, instead of giving up a whole Saturday or something like that, a whole month of, volunteering their time. So, I don't expect this to be passed today. I expect, a lot of discussion and what would be the most effective ways to, if not eliminate this, this incredible nuisance in the neighborhoods, but at least reduce it, and at least let people know that they're being watched. Yep. So hopefully, members, I hope you can support this. But maybe we can have more ideas shared. And it's similar to when I proposed the arson squad, and I was told by the fire department, well, we don't have the personnel. We don't have, it's not necessarily they have to be there 24 hours a day. It's this occasional, well-planned presence is more effective than somebody trying to, chase people down around the clock. Okay, so thank you very much for having this, and I hope that you consider the penalties, the increasing the penalties, because remember, this was originated from 1990, my second year on the council. And so, it's time for change and an upgrade. Thank you.
Mahalo, Chair Lee, for those opening comments. Members, next we have the First Deputy Prosecuting Attorney, Ms. DeMatos, and Deputy Prosecuting Attorney, Mr. Kumagai, with us this morning for some opening comments. And we do see Member Rollins Fernandez entering the chambers. Welcome.
Aloha kakahiaka, Chair. Kalamai for my tardiness.
Aloha, thanks.
Dilele. Sorry about that.
Hi, thanks for being here. Ms. DeMatos?
Good morning. Okay. Okay. Thank you for inviting us to this. We'll be here to answer any questions. I did check our database to see. Okay. I did check our database to see if we had noise control cases. The section that we would charge under is actually the ordinance 9.36.030. 0.040 is actually the penalty section. Not all of our traffic violations, offenses end up in our database due to the volume, and they do tend to move quickly. So like the police, I didn't show any of these citations in 2004. We recently charged one, I think early October of this year. I did a look back of 5 years. I counted 7 or 8 cases. Despite what the numbers show, I mean, having been a driver out on the road in the community, I do understand the need for this noise control ordinance. It is a quality of life offense, right? We're on the road, we're trying to pay attention, we're being distracted when people are turning up the volume of their system at a very high level. So I just wanted to, provide that. My office is here, to support this, answer any questions about possible penalties. Mr. Chad Kumagai is our supervisor of our appeals division, very valuable member of our office, and he can also assist in answering any questions. Thank you.
Mr. Kumagai? Oh, you just here for questions?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, mahalo. Thank you, First Deputy and Mr. Kumagai. Next, we also have Assistant Chief of Police Greg Okamura joining us this morning, if you would like to provide some opening comments. Is he on? Oh, there he is.
Good morning, everyone. I appreciate everyone's efforts here, as far as addressing this matter. It's a community issue. So, it's not a nuisance to us, but just that we just have to work together and figure out, a more efficient way of addressing this issue. So, I'm here to answer any questions and also just kind of follow up with some of the questions we had as far as the amendment, as far as that administrative portion. So that's it, Chair. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, mahalo, Assistant Chief Okamura. Before we begin our discussions, members, let's take testimony for WASSP 9. Staff, is there anyone wanting to testify to this item?
Chair, there is currently no one who has signed up to testify. If somebody would like to testify in the chamber, please let staff know, or on Microsoft Teams, please raise your hand. This is the final call. 3, 2, 1. Chair, it appears that no one wishes to testify.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony for this item? Okay, thank you. All right, members, I'll open up the floor for questions and comments. You can have 3 minutes for the first round and then another 3 minutes for the subsequent rounds. I see Member Paulton. Go ahead. Followed by Member Hudgens.
Thank you. I'm looking up 9.36.030, and it refers specifically to sound amplification systems heard outside the vehicle from 50 feet or more when the vehicle is parked or operated in a public area, unless it's a request assistance or warrant of a hazardous condition. So I was wondering, is it only vehicle sound systems? Does it also include bicycle, or not bicycle, but motorbike mufflers or dual mufflers and things like that? Or what about house parties? House parties are exempt, and also coffee bean and tea leaf on a Kona winds, maybe? I don't know. Just asking. And then my second question, I think that side is for the prosecuting attorney. For the police, I just wanted clarification on what he said was more efficient. What would be a more efficient way?
Thank you for the question. With respect to the sound amplification system, I don't think that would include.
Can you go closer to the mic, please?
I don't think that would include a muffler or a party because the sound amplification system is defined as an amplification speaker sound system or any part thereof.
Even if the muffler was modified to be louder? Because music actually sounds better to me than those modified mufflers, but.
I think that we would have to consider a different definition of sound amplification system if that is something we're trying to address.
So we're specifically targeting people that like to listen to their music loud and not all the other annoying sounds.
That's what it appears to be.
Got it, thanks. And then for Mr. Okamoto, when you said more efficient, I was wondering if you could clarify, you think this is not an efficient way to go about it? Is it because they gotta get convicted and that takes your time?
Yeah, so just to clarify too, so if you look at this ordinance that we're talking about, this bill amendment is specific to 9.36, which is the vehicle. So it's not, it's not about like social host or anything like that. So this is limited to the vehicle part. And you kind of touch upon it right there, like you said, as far as the efficiency, as far as like, yeah, we can do the enforcement, and then the prosecutors would do the best as far as the prosecution side. But, are we going to add, like the intent of the bill, just to add more teeth to the penalties and just hold more people accountable and try to curb or change the behavior of the community. So in that sense, as far as efficiency, it's a collaborative effort with everyone. So.
Thank you.
Okay, mahalo, Member Polton. Next we have Member Hodgins, but I did want to remind members that Major Braden Ogata from Honolulu Police Department is also online if you have any questions for him. Bill 119 was copied after the City and County of Honolulu. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. So a couple quick things. I do support the intent. I do remember when my children were young and my kids would finally fall asleep in the car and somebody would pull up next to me with the loudest music and waking up my children. And I had to more than once ask somebody to turn it down because it's too much. And then it is difficult to hear sirens in an emergency situation if somebody's music is beyond comprehension. I don't know how they can even hear it. It's so loud. My question is not necessarily on whether I support this, but how would this work? If we don't have any citations now, how would the removal go? I do appreciate police's questions when they would ask, like, who's going to remove it? How do we determine the valuation? As Member Paulton was saying, so many of this are like after mod, like all of these modifications. So I just want to know practicality wise, like how would this work? Who's going to remove it? How do you store it? Is it auctioned off? And if so, that's just going to go in somebody else's car. So how does this work?
Thank you for that question, Member. So I think what would need to happen in order for a forfeiture to occur is the sound system would need to be seized pending forfeiture so that the procedure under HRS Chapter 712A can commence.
Chair, could I just add that this would be for the third offense? It's not the first? Yeah.
Yep, finding and then the forfeiture. But one of the police's questions was, who's going to remove it? Do we have partnership? Does the county have a partnership with who may remove it? Like maybe whoever installs the breathalyzers or like, I'm not against this. I just want to know how it works.
Is that for?
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
So, I don't know if Breno Gata is available, but if they already have this ordinance in place, maybe they have already something set up, and maybe they could share how they do their removals and forfeitures and whatnot. Because those are the questions that we had as a law enforcement agency. So, and Braden got all dressed up, so that's good. So.
Major Ogata?
Hey, aloha committee members. I'm Braden Ogata of the Home Police Department. I'm the major of the Waikiki Patrol District. So tricky question as far as forfeiture. So the officers don't get involved in forfeiture for this particular section. What we also use is, it's important to know the scope of this one. So sometimes this 30-foot rule doesn't only apply to vehicles. It can also apply to things we see in Waikiki, people with allowed, even a portable type amplification system where they're playing music or that type of thing. So in those cases, the officers may collect those items if they're portable as evidence for the violation of the noise ordinance. So as far as forfeiture, that would occur in the court system later. So yeah, sorry prosecutors, but it might be something a little away from the police side of it. But so yes, it's been in existence. I don't know. I tried to look back, and granted, this ordinance has been in place for a while from us. I couldn't find any history of the forfeiture side. It's not done on the police end of it, if that makes sense. So sorry, it's not a great answer, but that's the answer I have for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Perhaps we can, another one of my questions is, I guess, how often does this happen? I know, again, it's on the third offense. You guys have had it for a while. Does it happen often where it is seized? I can understand, as Chair Lee said, the boombox situation, that's a little bit easier. But if you do know, I would appreciate it. Other than that, I really have no other questions. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, and we can save that for the second round. Next, we have Member Sugimura, followed by Member Cook.
Thank you. So it's interesting because if this has been around with City and County of Honolulu as well as our police department, and then the prosecuting attorney doing their research, not having, a lot of offenses. So I wonder if it is because it's difficult for the police, what is your reaction to that? Maybe they're bigger fishes to fry. Whatever police department.
MPD? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about HPD, but I know when I was an officer, way back in the day, well, not I'm still an officer, but a patrol officer. I think one of the questions was, I guess, like determining, like what is, there's kind of common sense things, but then is there like a measurable, you could, we had to articulate, well, I was, X amount of feet from it and I could hear it and, it was so many, is it so many decibels or anything like that? So I think that was part of it. But again, that goes to like maybe we got to figure out a way of like how do we articulate the offense more too. So.
Okay, perfect. Because that was my next question. Or I'm sorry if HPD Major Ogata, I didn't let you speak, but I believe that noise or sound is generated by the Department of Health. So I wonder if Department of Health has standards that we need to comply with to figure out what is offensive in terms of sound. Chair, I don't know, Department of Health was asked these questions. And I wonder if we somehow were able to define it or help the police department, then maybe they would be able to have more offenses because there's some kind of measure as we deal with law. Oftentimes we need to define something in order to, like speeding or things like that are pretty easily measurable. But sound is something that could be, according to what somebody feels. If it's not measurable, it's really hard then to take it to court and say, oh, this was whatever. So I wonder what the police department may need from help with Department of Health with help from the Department of Health so we can get some kind of guidelines, you know, as to what would be measurable and then help them take these offenses to court. Because I think that's where we're trying to get to, but it sounds like it doesn't, we haven't had any, according to the records of the prosecuting attorney. And thanks very much for looking back, you know. What are we missing here?
Did Deputy Matos have any comments to that?
And the police can correct me, but again, having that measurement, that 50 feet, may be difficult. I was talking to Mr. Kumagai, you know, and maybe, you know, using body cam video as a way to capture the sound and show how far you're away might help. I mean, granted, we didn't have body cam available years ago, but I think the measurement, the specific measurement of 50 feet may be a difficulty for the police. But AC Okamoto, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
No, I mean, that's exactly what that we're talking about, so.
Okay, my time's up, so I'll second round if I could
Okay, thank you.
expound on
Next.
that.
Thank you. Next, we have Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. So that was, I'll follow up on that, the question for the prosecutors. Could you rattle off, what are some of the challenges in actually prosecuting a case like this? What would people potentially come back with in their defense?
Mr. Kumagai?
I think that the main defense is gonna be, a lot of times there wasn't an exact distance measured, or, you know, I guess it could be blaming it on somebody else, if there's a lot of traffic nearby. I think those are the types of challenges that we may have.
Okay, so good, thanks. So my next question, this is for prosecutor too, is is there a problem with the current laws to basically be able to use cameras and sound recording devices at traffic lights?
There could be, depending on how the footage is recorded, what it's recording, who is keeping record of the recording. It's an admissibility issue potentially.
So MPD, traffic monitoring enforcement, would that give enough criteria for your concerns on that?
It could be. I would need to know more about the technical aspects of how it's recorded and kept.
Thank you. I think the answer clarifies between distance, all the different criteria to basically, how do we enforce it? What do we do? I just want to, I'm real supportive of this. I don't know how it would be enforced, but sitting at a traffic light and having a car pull up next to you or 4 cars away and your window's shaking, it's annoying. And I guess, is somebody going to say, like, this is freedom of speech issues? Like, I'm just doing my thing?
No, I don't believe that there'll be any First Amendment issues. It's a content neutral law.
Okay, well, I feel for the police department. Thank you, Chair. It's a good thing. We need to really have structure for the police to be able to actually do it and not just set them up with something that's not enforceable. Thank you very much, Chair.
Before we go to Chair Lee, Member Rollins Fernandez for your first round opportunity.
Mahalo, Chair. I don't have any questions.
Okay, Chair Lee.
Thank you. I don't think there'll be problems recording and identifying where the sound is coming from. Look at fireworks. We have a problem with fireworks. Do we have many arrests? No. You know, it comes down to people complaining, willing to testify, and having the right equipment available. I'll give you an example. This doesn't happen probably in Kula, yeah? And it doesn't probably happen in Kaupo, but it happens a lot in Wailuku and Kahului. I can't speak for the other areas because I spend most of my time in these areas. And right on Honoapi-Ilani Highway from, let's say, where High Street ends and then you pass the front of Kehalani, okay? That stretch where you have 2 traffic lights. This is where these people hang out. And if you come to our area, our neighborhood around 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, this is the time they go back and forth with this loud music. So what I'm saying is where you have the complaints is where you focus the enforcement. For instance, I'll bet you the police department has received a lot of complaints for this area. So if I were the police department, what I would do is I would assign some of my officers to watch that area for a certain period of time, and they will see and they will hear the violations. So like I'm saying, these things need to be planned out specifically. And once the word gets around that people are actually being arrested and penalized for this behavior, you're going to see that behavior, start to drop. And so it's not going to drop if you do nothing. Yeah? So you have to do something. And so what I'm saying is, and I'm pretty sure the police department has already, Mr. Okamoto, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if you guys received a lot of complaints about the area I'm talking about, because in the last few nights, we haven't heard the music. But so what I'm saying is, if you you'll get your result where you put your attention. And if you put your attention in the areas that are being, the people are violating this law, then I think you're going to be very successful with enforcement. Thank you.
Okay, Assistant Chief, did you want to respond to Chair Lee?
No, I heard her comments and
okay.
I just kind of want to say, like, again, this is where we're at as far as like trying to build a better process. Going back to Councilmember Cook's comments, like, I know that we have issued tickets in the past, but then at this point, the way the ordinance and the laws are written, I remember we'd have to like really articulate why we detected the violations. Again, our windows were up, yet we could clearly hear the stereo through the window. Estimated distance from the car, and then we could feel the vibrations from the music. So those are things that we'd have to put in a citation. But then, again, it's not written in any type of ordinance or law. So I don't know. And this is like over 25 years ago. So I'm not sure if we ever had successful convictions on any type of citation like that. So, but yeah, no, I hear Chair Lee's comments and I'm in agreement with that. So, but again, this is why we're here today.
Mahalo, Assistant Chief. Before I go to Member Paulton, Deputy DeMatos, you mentioned 7 to 8 cases for noise. Were those from complaints and from vehicular sound systems?
Yes, I specifically searched by the ordinance, and that will be 9.36.030, the prohibited noise.
And those were from car stereos?
Yes, I just based on, my review of the ordinance, yes, it's my understanding it would be from vehicle sound amplification system.
How were those cases reported?
I believe that these were probably from citations issued by the police. There may have been other offenses, traffic offenses that were attached to the noise violation.
Okay, because the police mentioned that there was no offenses this might have been prior to 2024.
So I believe our, that is same or similar to police. So 2024, we did not have any
Okay,
noise control violations.
okay, thank you for that. Member Paulton, for your second.
Thank you. I think my question is for Ms. Murakami. I was looking up the state noise ordinance, which says residential areas maximum of 55 decibels during the day and 45 decibels at night. Commercial areas, 60 decibels during the day, 55 at night, and industrial 70 and 60. And I was wondering, like, would this be in conflict on them? They said, like, the first, you can get a fine on your first offense. It doesn't mention about legal proceedings. And for me, I wouldn't like to single out one group of people, like people that like to pound their sounds. We had a dual exhaust muffler in our neighborhood that would go to work at 4 in the morning. And so everybody in our neighborhood wakes up at 4 in the morning. And so if we could just make this, kind of in alignment with other noise ordinances, that we're not just singling out one loud group of people, that would be better. Is that a possibility? That we connect this penalties to the state noise ordinance?
Ms. Murakami?
I would have to look at the state ordinance also, or the state statute, but if there is already a statute addressing it, I think that might be a redundant, maybe, because then you can, or the police may be able to use that state statute maybe, but I would have to look into that further and see. I mean, I don't.
The state one is more watery, it seems like. Monetary penalties for individuals or businesses that exceed permissible noise levels, which can range from 100 to 1,000 for first offenses, with higher fines for repeat violations. And the legal action is repeated violations may lead to legal proceedings, including court appearances and potential litigation. So, like, we can go more harsh than the state, right?
Or more specific, I think. So
more specific.
Yeah, but I don't know if he can go higher.
Oh.
But I have to look into that and see and get back to you on that.
That's why you never sign off on this bill?
No. It's actually signed off.
Oh, it's signed off?
Yeah, but not by me. It's
not by you?
Yeah.
Okay, but then what about the conflict with the state, whatever you call state ordinances, statutes?
Also, I think this is specifically to the car stereo as opposed to the other statute that was more for the residential. So I think that was the separation, the difference.
Residential, commercial, and industrial. Wouldn't commercial areas be considered public though?
Right, but this specific ordinance talks strictly about the sound amplification system, which is, I think, what Mr. Kumagai said was specifically like a stereo system.
Yeah, number 2 is in the noise ordinance, vehicle operation, loud vehicle noises such as honking, modified exhaust are prohibited. But isn't sound systems vehicle operations as well?
I would have to look at the statute and look into that further. I apologize.
Alrighty then.
Okay, mahalo, Member Paulton. I know Member Hodgins had a follow-up question, but at the end of her first round. But okay, she'll remind us. Any other questions, members? Okay. Oh, Member Sugimura, go ahead.
Yeah, based upon the discussion and questions that have come up, I wonder if Corp Counsel can review how this impacts state statutes, because that's kind of huge. And then the Department of Health, the noise ordinance, which would be impacted, I think. But more than that, if we are going to have to worry about decibels based upon the state statute, then does the police have the equipment they need to measure appropriately? I mean, I think this, well, for me, it's bringing up other questions. So I wonder if you wouldn't mind, having everybody
Staff,
go
we
back.
got some additional questions for the police department. Remember
I have what what you guys have been talking about for questions. If you guys would like us to send a letter, we can.
Okay. Member Cook, did you have any follow-up questions?
No, thank you, Chair.
And I know that under number 3, a combination of forfeiture and a fine totaling $1,000, that was the third offense. So Chair Lee, that is both the combination of forfeiture and fine, not either or. Yeah,
Right, right.
okay. Like if they didn't pay the fine, then they would face forfeiture. This is both forfeiture and a fine.
Yes,
Okay,
on the third offense.
on the third offense. Okay,
But I can work with corp counsel and the prosecutors to make this more specific and see how we can make it more effective as well. Because I'm representing my constituents who are many, many, many people because we have the biggest population in Wailuku, Kahului. And this is where most of the offenses take place. I'm sure it happens in Paia, I'm sure it happens in Makawao and Lahaina, every place else. But it happens on a regular basis, like every night. This is, we complain about fireworks, but that's, you expect that 4th of July and, Christmas and New Year's. And actually, I don't see where the police have become more effective in that area. But this other thing is on a regular basis, like almost every night. They go up and down, and it's as loud as hell. And I don't think people deserve, that kind of intrusion into their quality of life. And so that's why I'm pretty bound and determined to find something that will work, and we'll keep going on it.
okay.
Thank you.
I agree. It also happens in Hana.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, where, and we know who it is.
Go flat his tires.
No, but many of the homes are close to the road, so, if they're just passing your house, it's rattling your windows too. At your home, or the dogs start barking, those types of things. So I would be supportive of, the times, if it's not beyond 10 o'clock or within neighborhood areas. I mean, I keep telling my nephew, hey, the kupunas live right here, and you're blasting your sounds, and the kupunas, we have kupunas down the road. So I try to, regulate myself, but just certain areas, school zones, I don't know if we can put up signage. Deputy Assistant Chief Okamoto, if putting up signage to say that this area is regulated for sound, or a time where noise is, from
I think that's a
7
good
to 7.
idea. I wouldn't mind organizing a community event that
Yeah.
people on one side have no loud music and the other side, no kings.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would be supportive of if, if there are, I guess, preventative measures in certain areas where the neighbors kind of, initiate some kind of neighborhood watch or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because then they'll be more likely to report incidents.
Okay.
Says.
Okay, any other questions that we can follow up? Member Cook?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to make a comment and sort of encouraging. It's probably not a whole lot of people. And so if we can craft legislation and provide the structure that the MPD and prosecutors need, fortunately, this isn't a rampant island-wide problem, but it's a very big nuisance if we can get people to tone it down. So just thanks for bringing this forward, and I don't know, I hope that the police department and the prosecutors can help enhance making this more, I'd say, user-friendly for you folks. Thank you, Chair.
Member Bolton.
Thank you. If my community's problem is loud mufflers, could I just write a 9.36.030 amendment and say, permit the operation of any sound amplification system, including aftermarket mufflers, and then whatever you guys penalize for the vehicle, like guys who pound sounds, would also apply for loud mufflers on, and then would motorcycles be considered vehicles? And scooters? Corp counsel or a lawyer, any lawyer?
No, yeah.
So I think that change could be made by adding mufflers or whatever language is appropriate to the sound amplification system definition.
Okay,
And I think that would address the concern.
great. Thank you so much.
Okay, members. For our resource, we do have Major Ogata. Is there any closing remarks you'd like to provide the committee before we adjourn?
I just wanted to offer for the committee, for mufflers, there's actually in the HRS section, Hawaii Revised Statutes section 291-24. That's for motorcycles and mopeds, and also 291-24.5, which deals with vehicles. So I just wanted to try and offer that to you all because, the other ordinance that's used for sound that you folks are looking at right now tends to be solely for reproduced music. So that's kind of why mufflers is handled in a separate area. I hope that clarifies just a little. So thank you all. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, mahalo, Major Ogata. Assistant Chief Okamoto, any closing remarks?
No, I just thank you to everybody for working on this together.
Okay, and then Deputy DeMatos, Mr. Kumagai.
So thank you for your input, comments, questions. My office looks forward to working with everyone to address this concern and issue.
Okay, mahalo for being here, everyone. Members, any objections to deferring this item so we can continue the discussion? Okay, thank you. Staff, is there anything else we should address?
No, there's nothing else outstanding, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mahalo, members, for this discussion today. And this concludes today's Water Authority Social Services and Parks Committee meeting. The time now is 11:25, and this meeting is adjourned.